Hello and welcome. Each and every day I have parents that I am blessed to receive emails and direct messages, and I continue to encourage parents and student athletes. Please, whether it's a comment, an opinion, a question, please feel free to do so, whether that's via the email, possibly a comment on an individual video, or even a direct message on any of my social media platforms. This particular question hits home for me, and I want to thank Reggie for submitting this. It has to do with NCAA Division III baseball. And this is a subject that is near and dear to my heart as I spent 7 years as a head coach at an NCAA Division III program here in New England. Want to remind everyone or ask everyone, please strongly consider just subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's free. It helps with regard to my algorithm. Also, hit that notification. It will allow me to help grow and continue to help support me in my endeavor to go and do this on a full-time basis. Now more than ever, parents are seeking information, resources that can help them make decisions that will ultimately affect their student athlete, their child, for the next 40 years, not just the college years. NCAA Division III is a very big part of college athletics, particularly in the Northeast throughout the Mid-Atlantic. They are academic centric, with athletics being a part of the experience. When we hear about the transfer portal, we genuinely think, it's Division One. We don't think about anything else with regard to any other levels within the NCAA. But there are recruiting processes. There are coaches that actively recruit for the NCAA Division III levels. Now, the first thing that's going to pop out if you're a parent is, well, NCAA Division I and II, they have scholarships. Division III, I heard, doesn't have scholarships. Okay, so let's address that head on. While they do not call them scholarships, Division III programs do have significant more grant money, merit money, aid money. They deal with presidential grants, academic area of interest, merit money. Generally, the rule of thumb at the NCAA Division III level is you're going to get back approximately 40, in some cases high as 55% in aid, whether that's a Pell Grant. There's a variety of uh, uh, individual college monies that are available to the Division III student athlete. So I always encourage parents, when you're looking at a Division III program, sometimes the apple may not be compared to the apple, but it's still going to be relatively close. What's called and classified as a scholarship generally is called grant, merit, need based aid. The other part of Division III is, as long as you're meeting certain academic standards and thresholds, that money is going to be available to your student athlete for all 4 years, as opposed to an athletic scholarship under the current rules, 1 year at a time. That probably will change, but as it pertains to Division III, your grant money, your aid money, your merit money, there are certain qualifications, standards, thresholds that, as long as they're being met by the student, that money will definitely follow for all 4 years. The other is, once you maintain, after a year of we'll call it residency at your Division III school, they want to retain students. So sometimes they will incentivize students based on strong grades, being a valuable member of the student body, an active participant within campus activities. They want to encourage you to stay. They are incentivized to keep you on campus for all 4 years. We must remember, all colleges are for-profit businesses. And so they want to keep you. So there is an incentive. Next, the admissions process, while it may be more stringent, meaning certain academic standards, some schools are 3.2 to 3.6. For general admission, you can do early decision to some of the NESCAT schools. Those are Bates, Bowdoin, Middlebury, Tufts, etc. And they can do early decision and early action, but they require stronger academic guidelines. So you do want to begin to gather information as it pertains to NCAA Division III. The other dynamic as a parent that you want to begin to understand is, in general, most college students, freshmen, typically are within a 3 to 5 hour drive, sometimes an hour flight, a train, a bus away from home. They do this because you're far enough away, but you're close enough so that if your parents are wanting to be a part, if you're a student athlete and visit the campus, parent weekends, things like that, doesn't require, for the most part, typically a flight of any kind. It is accessible driving a bus or a train. So that's another important feature to consider. Now let's talk about recruiting. Let's talk about baseball. A lot of talk with the portal centers around Division I athletes in junior college or JUCO student athletes. Well, let's take a deeper dive and look at the amount of Division III college student athletes that are making the move from Division III to Division I. You look at University of Connecticut, Boston College, those are two that come to mind. You start to understand that there is a lot of strength with regard to the athletic side of Division III athletics. Don't be told or don't be fooled to thinking that there's a quantum leap from Division III athletics to Division I athletics. While that may be true in football and possibly hockey, not so much in baseball. Baseball metrics, for the most part, the same caliber of student athlete that's starting between the lines for a high level Division III program, such as Salve Regina, also Endicott, Eastern Connecticut, Salisbury, Ithaca, those types of programs are going to have athletes that are capable of playing at the Division I level. The biggest discrepancy that I try to get parents to understand is, when we're looking for a home for our high school student, you should not discount if a Division III coach is showing an interest, particularly if they have a strong Ohio Wesleyan in the NESCAT, which is based out of Connecticut, home of Bill Parcells and, Bill Belichick. These are schools that offer a strong academic foundation, a tremendous global domestic network within the business community, and oh, by the way, they play a heck of an athletic schedule. The process and the time parameters, most Division III coaches are not going to recruit, sophomores that are going into their rising junior year. They're going to wait until after the completion of that summer and the junior fall of high school, and kind of see where the high school athlete is looking to attend. And the dance between the college coaches at the Division III level and the student athletes typically begins during their rising senior summer. So at the completion of their junior season in high school. Division III, in my opinion, they tend to be smaller, more rural campuses. They tend to be a more vibrant, active, close-knit campus. The facilities are not going to be as expansive as a Division I program, but that doesn't mean they're not as nice. A lot of Division III programs, particularly at Endicott, in Salve, Johnson and Wales, Coast Guard, A lot of these schools, a lot of state schools, Bridgewater State, Salem State, Fitchburg State, those are in New England, but they offer tremendous academic curriculum. They offer tremendous campus environments. They offer opportunity for student athletes to participate at the collegiate level. One of the things that I would like to stress to parents and student athletes is really begin to do your homework. Go online, look up, Google search NCAA Division III baseball. You can do it through rankings. You can do it through your geographical preferences. Get an idea of what those schools are like. A lot of times, Division III coaches will work or participate at high-level academic Division I baseball camps. For instance, Richmond University. Now it's Mick Ioki. It used to be Tracy Woodson. They'd have coaches from Bates and Bowdoin and Tufts and some of these higher level academic schools that would work their camps and see some of these athletes that are aspiring to play at Richmond, but might not physically be prepared for that level. And so therefore, they kind of get involved with the recruiting and then entice them to take a visit and hopefully get those student athletes to become a part of their program. Another big part of the Division III kind of landscape is there are a lot of students now, more than ever, due to the success that they have seen with UConn and Boston College and other similar programs. This year, UConn, University of Connecticut, Coach Penders, they had 7 former Division III players. In fact, their pitcher that pitched them into the super regional game is a former Division III All-American. So my point to you is they offer great coaching. In fact, you'll be able to, I'll put some video links up here. I've talked to Coach Casey, John Casey and his son. They coach at Johnson and Wales. They have John Casey's other sons coach at WPI and the Coast Guard. So it is important to understand. We've had Eric Savella on from Salve Regina, Division III, very prominent. They were at the Division III World Series this year. Important for you to go back as parents and listen to those interviews. Listen to what's being said. And I can tell you right now, I was at a very low-end Division III program, and I ended up having 5 student athletes that ended up playing professionally. And so it's an often overlooked. We look at JUCO to go to Division I. We look at that step, that JUCO, okay, I'll go there for 2 years. And a lot of times parents will say, my son's a really good student, and going to JUCO just doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, I agree with that in today's world. But you really need to, as a family, and I'm willing to help you in any capacity that I can, take a bigger, broader look. Find the schools that geographically, academically fit for your student athlete, and then reach out to the coaching staff. Anna Maria, Coach Dan Brion. We've had a discussion with Dan. Dan's a former student athlete of mine from Becker College, and he now runs a very successful Division III program that has a beautiful campus, big criminal justice major, nursing majors. But Anna Maria is a very strong Division III baseball program. So I hope this has been informative. If you would like me to do a deeper dive into this and have more Division III coaches, please let me know in your comments down below. Also, I'm really going to be providing a deeper dive into the admissions processes, the financial aid, the recruiting with the coaches, a kind of a broader look into the college recruiting experience. I've written books on this topic. I think they're well worth your time with regard to Audible or even an ebook. But I'd also encourage you to become a member here of the channel and begin to dive into my videos that I offer to members. I think that will be offering great information. As always, I want to say thank you. Continue to please send me your questions, and I hope this was able to answer a few of your questions as it pertains to NCAA Division III baseball.